shot of nitrous
when you qualified.
Yeah.
Normally just when you qualified. But I only got that one time I qualified. Like me and AJ Foyt, I think I was on pole, he was outside, or vice versa, I don't remember which. And neither one of us had run worth a damn all day long. Like we're 25th in practice, but we end up qualifying on the front row. And so it's kind of like, what did y'all do? I'll never forget, we take that car in there, and Rossi was the crew chief, and he had put the nitrous bottle in the petty bar. So it's about that long, and it's mounted and covered up in the roll cage. And all I had to do is stick a little wrench in there and open that baby up, and that thing would take off. I mean, I'd never done it before, so I was excited about. Wonder what this is going to do. Wake that baby up.
The Red Sox are trying for their second straight victory.
Like a rocket. Put you back in the
Welcome to the ballgame, folks.
Daytona,
I'm Glenn Kuiper alongside Mike Krukow. This game features the Detroit Tigers and the Boston Red Sox.
When would you do? Walk me
and
through the
now
process
here's tonight's starting pitcher, Matt Clements.
On the straightaway. I mean,
Yeah.
While you're running?
Oh yeah.
While you're in.
Yeah, like you go out of the pitch. And get up on the bench and get on.
Here's the game's first batter, Johnny Estrada. This batter absolutely destroys the pitching.
Take off. I mean,
that's awesome.
Go crazy.
You're doing that while you're driving at speed.
Up to speed qualifying.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
right. Still, I mean, can you imagine how many people wadded up just like, what were you doing? Well, I had to rinse that thing. I mean, you got to open it up.
I was pretty busy in my race car for a lot. When we'd go through tech, your right side had to weigh so much. So we'd have a block of Mallory that was bolted to the frame on the right side to make the right side
weight. It's going to be in the 60s. Right. No need for
so
sunscreen.
So when we get ready to then put me in the car, they'd undo that. They'd give me a piece of just tube.
That was a pretty good play.
And they'd put the tube
got a good jump on it. He really took
the Mallory was. And I'd take the Mallory and put it over on the left side to get the left side weight up. So it's just...
I bet the worst.
But listen, this sounds really bad, I know, but it's not, because there wasn't a lot of people around to watch. To take. I had a helmet, weighed 50 pounds. I never wore it, but it hung in the car. I had a radio. I'll never forget this. We're at Charlotte, and Dick Beatty, and he comes. Me and Rusty and Dale and all we're sitting there talking. One day he walks in, and got this radio right here, and I said, Dick, is there something wrong with your radio? And he goes, wham! He throws that damn piece of Mallory down. He's weighing about 50 pounds. It ain't my damn radio. He said, you want to know where we got it? I said, I think I know.
I was going to say, I bet the worst day of your life was when they introduced in-car cameras. That would have changed the game for a lot of people.
Yeah, you just hard to get away with stuff like that.
Scotty did a great job of coming in there with a runner on base. That was a huge
the playing field has been leveled.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it truly is.
Nowhere to hide things, hardly, is there?
No. Not that I'm aware
of. Let's talk to me a little bit about driving for Junior Johnson and what led. So you seem to have found your home.
Yeah.
You seem to love the relationship that you have with him.
Yeah. This guy's
almost
just a
kind of like
hitter.
a father-son kind of thing. Y'all were so different. Kind of balanced each other out.
Yeah.
And you had incredible success.
Oh my, yeah. I'll never forget when I went to drive for Junior. He said, "You keep that mouth shut. I'll do the talking. You do the driving."
Base is empty with one out.
Okay. And I was going to move to Wilkesboro. Junior was really big on leaving his legacy to someone. And he and Floss, they couldn't have children. And so that really bugged you. He wanted to have someone to leave his legacy to.
He reaches
and
with a one-out
he and I became really like a father and a son, really. And I loved him, and I think he loved me. But what muddied the water was Rick. I mean, he didn't like Rick at all. They were adversaries.
Really?
Rick was
they set that defense. Don't play
yeah.
You can get a ground ball right here. They might get two.
It all came to head when one day we had a set of Summerheads that was supposed to come from Rear Morrison, and they went to Hendrick Motorsports instead of to Junior Johnson. And somehow, some way, Junior found out about it, and
Clement misses. The count is 1-2.
Tipped him over the edge.
It's a good hard sinker.
So Rick had called me and said, it was in my 86. He said, your contract's up with Rick. I want you to come drive for me. I said, are you kidding? And this was when Rick was still pretty new. They were B&R were doing their motors, and they were still there was just a lot of things that were not quite complete. And I said, Rick, I don't think you're ready for me, buddy. I said, but so what's the deal? He said, well, I've got this company, and they want to get in racing, and they want you to be the driver.
Managed to make
and I'll pay you
$500,000.
That was 3 times. I went to drive for Junior in 1980. In 1981, he paid me $150,000. I was still making $150,000. That's salary. He said, I'm going to pay you $500,000. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, painting this. I said, oh, my God. And I said, what's the name of what's the sponsor? He said, Tide.
He pulls a ground ball to the left side.
Really? Well, I'm driving for Budweiser.
Safe at first.
Anyway, I think now I'm just, my mind's confused. I'm messed up. So I think, well, I'm going to go talk to Junior. And this was when Junior was having things were just, Warner Hodgson had come along, and Neil, and there was just a lot of things going on that Junior wasn't really happy about, but wasn't a whole lot he could do about it. I'll never forget, I walked in, I had on a pair of little half glass. He's looking at something. I said, Junior, I need to talk to you about something. What do you want, boy?
Perfect pitch at the knees, outside corner.
I said, my contracts, we haven't talked about my contract yet, and I said, but I just got to, Rick Henry called me, and I laid it all out of what Rick had offered me, and he never looks up. Junior, he just keeps looking down.
Inside.
He's got 5 wins
and
11 losses.
Let me tell you something, boy. You need to go take that deal. And that wasn't what I wanted to hear. I mean, I wanted him to come back with, well, I can do this, I can do that, blah, 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 blah.
Counter.
Yeah, counter.
Yeah.
No way. And I mean, he just, boy, you ought to go take that deal.
And now it's a full
and
count.
And that was the end of it. So anyway, I walk out and I go and I said, well,
the runners go in the hole.
I'm going to make him wave all I can do. Junior always told me, I can't pay you a lot, but you'll win a lot. And that was kind of the balance. A couple of weeks go by and I'm down to the shop. Got a new car we're working on, and I come in, I want to get the seat and all adjusted, and the whole team.
Heading into the bottom of the first, the Tigers
they all come around the car.
by a pair of runs.
I said, what's wrong, boys? They said, why didn't you tell us?
To make the start for the visiting team, Kurt Schilling.
Why didn't I tell you what?
Let's check
why
out
didn't you
how
tell
they're
us you were
lining
leaving?
up on defense.
I said, am I leaving? I hadn't made any. I hadn't talked to Rick. I hadn't. So they said, Junior came down and said, this is your last race, your last year. You won't be driving for us next year. Well, man, you talk about panic.
Sometimes you try to make a hit or chase your picks. It's exactly
so I had to
what
find a
you saw
payphone fast. So I went and found me a payphone. I called Rick and said, hey, Rick,
throws a splitter for
I thought it over and I'll take that deal.
He's pitched 34
so that's how
innings
I
this
ended
season.
up driving
Batters
for
have had good
Rick.
success against him with an average of 299.
And it wasn't one thing that happened, and I don't know if this is true or not. Some of the guys, Mike Hill that worked there, and some of the guys, we go to Atlanta. That's in '86, and we got a shot at the championship. Me and the boys,
great job
we got a shot at the championship. All we really got to do is outrun him, and we'll win.
Right-handed pitching, but he does
pretty good at Atlanta at the time.
David is taking
and we had 2 engines.
And he's safe just ahead of the throw.
Brad Perrier built an engine that we ran all the time, and they were bulletproof. You couldn't blow it.
Fell asleep and forgot all
Then we had another guy, that Jeff Wilson. His engines will make more power, but they were not real dependable.
Hit to the right side.
And I'll never forget, we were at Atlanta, and Junior comes in Saturday morning. He says, "Put that whatever engine that was, Jeff Wilson motor in the car." No. No, we're not going to do that.
Schilling misses, and the count
We're going to run
1-0.
Brad's motor because we don't. It may not be the fastest motor, but it won't. We know we can finish. We finish, we'll be all right.
He's tallied 4 wins.
I said,
and
put
1
that
loss
motor
on
in the
season.
car. Wow. I mean, it was like
Count is
Hammond and
3-0.
boys. They just took the motor out and put his motor in. We ran 30 laps, blew up, and that's how we lost that championship. Well, what I was going to tell you was,
All you want to do
some
right
of the
here is make
guys,
sure
and
you
I didn't
drive
hear
the
this
ball to the
until
outfield.
recently.
Men on
Some of the
first
guys
and
said
third
that
after
Junior
the walk.
walked in the
That
shop.
was a great at-bat, partner. He
I
wouldn't
said,
budge and just
"Are y'all going to let him walk out of here with another
Lance
chance?"
Berkman.
I don't think so. We're all going up to
Throws
the
it
mountains
over
and we're
for
going
a
to pick
strike.
cabbage.
He will walk about
Y'all quit
6 per
working on
9
that car.
innings. Patience is a
You can just
virtue
quit working
in
on
this
it right now. And look, he knows
Sanchez
that's the way
makes
that's
the
the way it
grab
was.
for the out.
You
The
were your
runner
best
scores
friend or
on the
you're your
sac
worst enemy.
fly.
And you
To
know,
me,
you
that's
could
a
go from
successful
best friend
at-bat.
to worst
At-bat,
enemy
anytime you can drive
overnight.
and run, you've done your job.
But he's also, but it's his championship too. He's the car owner.
He parked Bobby Allison drove for him, and Bobby was going to win the championship in '71 or '2 when he drove for Junior. All they had to do is go to the last race,
2 outs and 1.
start
He's
that race,
breaking
and
for
Bobby
second.
would win the championship, and Junior didn't go.
Not in time.
That's sometimes
That's a
right.
perfect example. That's what you're forgetting all about that base
Mountain
runner.
people, they
Get
just
a
don't,
big
they
lead
don't
and
necessarily
score
think
easily.
the way you think they should. And I never heard that
Line
before. I don't know if
drive right
it's
to
true
the
or not.
third baseman.
But I do
After
know that
one
he won
inning,
that engine
Detroit
in that
leads
car.
by
We
1.
all knew it was going to blow up. I mean, always did.
Oh man. The U-Haul, does that still bug you?
This guy doesn't seem to
No.
have his best stuff.
I didn't know about it then. I didn't know about it till recently.
I got you. Well, what year
Clement
you were driving
delivers
for
a
Junior when
fastball
you
out of the
and
zone.
Dale tangled at Richmond, right?
Oh, yeah.
So my question, I mean, that's obviously well documented, and everybody, I'm sure you're asked about it still
Just
today.
catches the
My
corner
question
for
to
a
you is,
strike.
was there ever anything that threatened the relationship between you and Dale?
He
And
comes up
if
a
so,
little
was
bit
that
short.
it? Did it literally did it threaten a
reaches
long-term
with a single.
relationship? Because y'all go all the way back
he
to the
just
early
drilled that
70s.
pitch
now.
right through the infield for a
No,
base hit.
Dale and I were truly frenemies. We were friends sometimes. We were enemies sometimes. And we kind of had a deal.
Infield's
If I
got to think
can't
about
win,
playing
you ain't
double
going to
play
win
depth
either.
right now.
Really?
That's kind of the way it was. And that day at Richmond,
He makes the grab and
we had a
foul
good car.
ground.
And
His quick reaction allowed him to make
I
the
love
play on that
Richmond.
line
I've
drive.
won
Nice
like 6
play.
races there. And I'll never forget, Junior comes on the radio. It's the end of the race, about 4 or 5 to go, and he said, Darryl, pass it. Pass that car now. I said, okay.
Clement delivers a strike with the
So I'm
slider.
digging, you know, I get down in there, and I'm trying, and about 2 to go, Junior comes out radio and said, Darryl.
Fastball
I
low.
said, pass that SOB
He's throwing 114 innings
now.
this season, and
I
hitters
said,
are having
yes,
a
sir.
field day against this
I
guy.
went down in the
Clip a
first turn.
340.
I dropped those left
Liner
sides off
right
the
at the
dirt.
third
And I
baseman.
body slammed Dale a little bit, moved him up the hill, and boy, Junior is going to be so proud of me. This is great. About halfway down the back straightaway, like,
Stand up double.
That double was due to a misexecuted pitch.
I will
End
tell you
of
this.
story.
Dale and I, we were up and down. We were all over the place. One day we were buddies, one day we weren't. But that cost Dale a shot at driving that 11 car if he ever wanted to.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, what did Junior think about Dale?
I'll never
Up
forget, Dale
next,
came over
Alex
after the race and he
Sanchez.
was apologizing. He said, I didn't mean to do that. And Junior said, boy, get out of my face. He said, I don't ever want to talk to you again. So Junior, up to that
This one's
point,
gonna
had
fall
thought
in
about
for a
and
hit.
wanted, kind of like the way Dale
A
raced.
run scores.
But Junior was rough, you know. He liked
That's an
he didn't
RBI
mind
single.
roughing people up a little bit, and he didn't mind
Great hitters have a
ruffling
knack for
feathers.
finding holes and getting
And so he
base
was
hits.
really watching Dale and kind of keeping an eye on him. And I think if that hadn't happened, Dale may have driven that 11 car. But that happened, and Junior, that was the end of that. And that's the way people that live in that part of that's the way it is.
Barnes
Sever your
comes to
tie.
the
That's
plate.
it. I'm done with you.
Don't piss off
Some
those
guy
Wilkes
came by the shop all the time. Junior, I don't remember what his name was. Bob. Let's just say his name was Bob. One day, I hadn't seen
Gets
Junior. I
the
hadn't
call
seen Bob
for
in
a
a while.
strike.
What happened to
Guys are
him?
trying
He
to get
died.
him, trying to swipe the bag right here.
Really? What happened to him? I don't know. He
Gets it
died.
out to right.
Well, he didn't die.
I hope not. I
No,
mean,
he didn't die. He just didn't. He just
Nixon
didn't come by
makes the
there
catch
anymore.
for the out.
In Junior's mind, he was gone.
The runner crosses the plate
Anyway,
on the sacrifice
look,
fly.
I had some of the best
experience
experience
getting it deep enough to score the runner from
Gardner.
third. That's a great
I learned
AB.
about how.
learn about contracts at
Yeah,
least.
I learned about contracts. I did. When I drove for Junior, that one sheet of paper, it said,
Stepping in,
"You drive,
Carlos Guillen.
I provide the car, I'll pay you this much money," and that was one sheet.
That was the contract.
That
He
was
didn't
the
have in
contract.
lieu of.
He takes
So
the
no
pitch
in
to
lieu
left.
of, and we're sitting in a little dark office up in
Out
North
number
Wilkesboro,
three,
and
side retired.
Junior's attorney must have been 90 years
Heading
old. You
into
hear
the
him back there
bottom
in the
of the
back room
second.
going,
The
tat,
score
tat,
is 4-1.
tat, 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 tat.
The
Little
next batter
typewriter.
is Trot Nixon.
My attorney, he went to Harvard. He's a smart guy. So we're on one side of the table, and Junior's turning on the side. And
Schilling
Ed
throws
looked at
strike
Junior
one.
and said, "Junior, we worked out everything here, but what are you going to do for Darryl if he wins the
And that
championship?"
one's foul.
He said, "Boy, I'm going to tell you what I'll do to him if he don't."
Nixon yanks the pitch to right.
That's what in lieu of means in Wilkes
Oh, yeah,
County.
yeah.
Pitch to record the
But I did. I
out.
learned from Bill
Never in
about
doubt.
the business side of it. I learned from Junior about the
Makes
racing
his
side
way
of
to
it.
the
And then I
plate.
learned from Rick. Rick was like, put it all together. He was the business side, but he was a racer.
0-1.
So he understood. You had to have contracts,
And the
got to have
pitch.
agreements, got to do things a certain way. So I learned
1-1
something from
count.
everybody I drove for.
1-2
All
the
right,
count.
this show would not
righty
be
has one
possible
great
without our
pitch,
great
and he sticks
partners.
with it
Let's
to get
tell you
batters
about
out.
one of them.
That's right. Valvoline has been a great partner in racing over the years.
He struck him
They've
out.
also been a great partner
Hey,
for me.
he gets strike one. He just keeps
These
plowing
motor
away
oil
from the strike
companies,
line.
they come into the sport
Next up,
and
Mike
they
Lowe.
become
This guy here
tools
has
for
moderate
production and
success
performance.
against right-handed pitching.
Just like anything else on the car. I look at the oil a lot different than probably your
It's hit
average
down the line.
everyday guy. Hey man, I
The
got
ball is caught
6,000, 3,000
mid-stride.
whatever it is, you
With
change
2
the oil,
innings
right? You pull
played,
the oil,
the
you pull
score
the
is
plug, and
4-1.
it goes into the pan, you put new stuff in. But do you think about the way that it helps performance? Well, when you're in racing and you have
This guy is
Valvoline
okay
as a
against
sponsor or
right-handed pitching.
partner, they're actively working to try to give you oil that's going to improve horsepower, torque, and performance, durability.
Inside
they
for a
work
ball.
in the lab to give you the type of oil that you need to be able to give you the power where
He
you
pulls
want
the
it in
ground
the
ball
RPM
to the
range.
left side.
It's really unique. It's as important as
Safe on the play at
cam or
first.
the crank.
Next at the
piston,
plate, Marcus
all that
Giles.
stuff gets sort of scienced out. So does
The
the
runner
oil.
at first is off.
Valvoline celebrates originals. They
Close
do it by
play.
labels. We
It's
talk
out.
about originals
Think
on
twice
this
before
podcast.
taking a steal
Really,
this guy again.
they
That was one
are
heck of a
the
throw
original.
right there.
Valvoline is the original motor oil because they've been here since day one, 1895, America's first race. Valvoline was in the winning car, driven through the slushy, snowy,
That one just
messy streets
missed.
of Chicago by Frank Duryea. It's so interesting that when you look at this history of our sport,
He got under it and
they've
popped
been
it
there
up.
through it all. Remember, an original
The catch is
doesn't meet
made.
standards, it sets them. Valvoline, the original motor oil. Talking about the relationship with Dad, I can't think of any instance before that race at Richmond where you guys, I'm sure y'all had
One ball
some,
and one strike.
y'all used each other up a little bit, and Dad was pretty aggressive. But before that wreck, there was really no big
got a
issue.
piece of that one.
Y'all just raced hard.
Yeah.
And Dad would piss people off here and there.
Yeah.
And you were Jaws.
Yeah.
So, but then Richmond happened, and that was giant.
Lazy
That was
fly
a
to left.
big
Should be an
freaking
easy
deal.
play.
It was.
Everybody in the
Never
sport was
in
talking
doubt.
about it, and
After 2
everybody
and a
got
half,
fined.
the score is 4-1.
And then what?
Up
How
next, Jason
how do y'all
Varitek.
move on? How did it go? You got to be around each other the rest of the year.
Yeah.
You got to race each other on the racetrack. Was there ever a moment where you and Dad had a conversation after
The
that?
pitch.
Never talked
Nope.
about it.
Nope, never did.
Even years later, when you come drive the Pensville car, DEI, never talked about it.
No, I don't. I just think we both thought it was probably better not to bring that up
Really?
because the thing
Giles
about that
makes the
day was
routine catch.
Theo was
That's a great
aggressive,
very
very
tough
aggressive
line
driver.
driver.
Learned how to
That's
do
one of the
that on the
toughest balls in
curve.
baseball
He
and
knew how to
church.
put people in
better
bad
pounds the
situations,
ball
and
off
he usually
right-handed
come out on
pitchers.
top. But
Scout report,
that
this
day
guy's
it was
throw
so
it anywhere but
blatantly
under the
obvious.
hands.
I mean, it just, it was. He hooked me,
Schilling
and I
delivers the ball,
I
and
really,
it's 1-1.
I hate it because I wasn't smart enough to think about holding him outside. Because all I had to do was stay alongside of him, pushed him up a little bit, I win the race. But I wasn't smart enough to. I was just thinking about Junior's
And
going
it
to be so
lands in
proud of me
foul
because I'm
ground.
going by him.
You had to pass it. You were
At
on
that time
pass
of
it.
wreck.
Yeah.
So
Here's the 1-2 pitch.
there were times when, probably the only
Damon
time
gets it
that
on the ground
I ever
to second.
confronted your dad about
Got
something
him
he
for
did on
the
the
out.
track other than what he did to other people.
Giles made it look
That always
easy on
kinda
that out at first, guy.
couldn't understand it, but was at the 95 All-Star race when we wrecked.
Oh yeah, off turn 4.
Schilling misses
You know,
with a fastball.
people don't realize this, but that was the beginning of the end for me. I'd had some injuries. I'd overcome them,
Misses for a ball.
but I broke ribs
This righty
under
has
my
control
shoulder
problems
blade.
that on occasion will be
I
in the
like
base
I
on
had to have
balls.
relief drivers. I had a blah blah blah. I had good people.
and
Clyde
the count
Booth.
is 2-1.
I had a lot of good people that were working for me at that time, but because I couldn't drive,
Line
get-
drive right to the
I don't know,
shortstop.
Jimmy Hensley and
After
different
3
ones,
innings,
great
the
people. I love
score
them all.
is 4-1.
But it just the car didn't run. Just couldn't get the
He's
car to
looking for
run
his
front like
second
it
hit
had
of the
been.
day.
And so they all left, went somewhere else. But
What did he do?
Busted his ass.
Yeah,
He was on the
yeah.
inside of DW coming off turn 4
Oh.
and just
Whew.
lost it.
well, we were going down the back, and always Jeff Gordon. Which when I started working with Jeff, I thought this ain't gonna work. There's no way we're gonna get along.
In
But
the
we-
booth?
But we got along. Jeff Gordon's a great guy, good team player, good man.
Unless you're
Bible
racing
lays off the
mentality.
pitch
Yeah,
low.
Team player.
There are
There are moments.
We all have our moments.
Yeah. All right.
We all let our horns come out every night.
Keep going though.
But so it's the All-Star race, and we got a great car. And I just run second in the second segment, And Gordon's on Poe, he won it, and I'm on the outside. Dale's third, and I don't know who's fourth. And so I know if I get in front of Jeff Gordon, I can win that 10-lap shootout. So I'm coming off turn 4 and I'm turn 4. And I probably took off just a little wee bit early, and I beat Gordon to past the line and dropped down in front of him going into turn 1, and they threw the caution. Now, I don't know how many times in racing they've ever had a restart, but not any that I can think of. But anyway, they came on the radio and they said, we're going to give you one more shot. You jump him again, you're going to the back. So we come this time, and I have to wait, and he gets a little jump, and I fall in behind him. Or, no, we're going to turn 1 side by side. So we're going to turn 1 side by side. We're going down the back. It's kind of bumping
out of the zone. That's a
and
ball.
At the corner of my eye, I see sparks flying. I thought, what the hell is that? And I look at it's Dale. And so here's Dale down here. Here's Gordon here, and here I am out here. Well, I'm in a pretty good spot. Because I'm going to sail that thing off into turn 3, and I'm going to take the lead, and I'm out of here. Well, Dale's got a whole different idea. He's going to sail that thing on the bottom, and he's going to take the lead, and he's out of here. So we go into third turn, and Gordon, smart as he was, he said, these two knuckleheads are going to collide. So he checks up.
He's out.
And I go in, and Dale comes up, and he slams into me. And the TV can never do some wrecks justice. I hit that wall so hard it knocked the breath. I thought I was dead. Knocked the breath out of him. I couldn't breathe. I broke 3 ribs. I was a mess.
Next up with one
I'll never
run
forget.
batted in.
So we go home and come back over on Wednesday. And so I went to find Dale. I said, "You got to talk to him." So I said,
sharply. That's
what
a
the hell, man? I said, "What were you thinking?" He said, "What were you thinking?"
He's in
I said,
there
"Well, I'm thinking I was going to win that
second.
race." I said, "What were you thinking?" He said, "I was thinking, don't you ever go on the outside of me. Hopefully you learned a lesson." And walked away.
Harsh.
But that's the way it was. No, listen. He would call me every year at Christmas. Every year, Christmas Eve. And I would just
Line drive right to the second baseman.
One year he didn't call me.
And the
I thought,
run
well, maybe I
comes
missed a
home.
call. But anyway, so we get to Daytona, and I go up to him. I say, "Hey, buddy, did you call me Christmas Eve, or did I miss a call?" He said, "I don't have to call you every year."
Stepping
I
in,
walked away.
1 for 2, Carlos
He
Diaz.
just walked away.
That's the Dale Earnhardt a lot of people don't know.
He was there. I mean, he could have said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was busy," blah, blah, blah. No, he looked at me and said, "I don't have to call you every year."
So do
here's
you
the
think
pitch.
that there was something more to that? Or
Out of the zone.
I mean, like,
that's a
No,
ball.
that was just
that's just him. That's just him on a bad day, maybe.
he had this sort of
That
part
one
of him
splits the outfielder.
that could be as he could break you in half.
Callous,
could.
like cold and callous.
Oh, yeah.
Just unnecessarily.
The side is retired.
Yeah. I mean, and you would
What'd I
like,
do to do-
and
deserve
you would
that?
think that's what you would say. What the hell did I do to him? I didn't do anything to him. We were at,
After
well, so we were at
3.5,
Charlotte. We were
Boston
running really, really
trails
good.
by
And he
6.
came over to me and, he said, "Oh, hey, blah, 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 blah. Hey, how much right front spring you got?
It's
That
time for the 3, 4,
I
and
got a
5
16.
guys.
All right, you don't have. If I'd known you were going to lie to me, I wouldn't even ask you. I said, "I got a 16. I got a 14 and a 16. Why?" Yeah, I got a 3,000 and an 8. And anyway, he left. So we're a few weeks go by, and we're at Indianapolis. And he's running really good. So I said, "Well, you go over." And, "Hey, buddy," and he's got on pair. He didn't want anybody to know he couldn't see. We half glasses. We're going to
Puts
crack
it
the
away
sheet.
for the out.
And sit down beside him on the toolbox and says, "Hey, buddy, y'all are running really good." I said,
Stepping
"How much
in,
right front spring you got in your
Berkman.
car?" "You know I can't tell you that." Is that all you wanted? I mean,
heavens.
like I was intruding.
Yeah. I had
Intruding.
like some nerve to ask him
Outta
that.
here.
Inside for a ball.
What made him a good friend then?
I don't know. There was just 2 Dales. I mean, there was the one you loved.
Strike called at
My
the
wife
belt.
and he.
Tight.
I mean, my wife and he were tight. They got more. She got more pictures of him and her than they do of me and her. So
Fastball
she
missed
loved
away
Dale, and
for a ball.
she witnessed the Dale, and she put scriptures in his car, and they were really, really good friends.
Swing and a miss. Struck him
Dale and
out.
I, it's hard to be.
That was
It's hard to
by
be
him in a hurry
friends.
for strike 3. Woohoo!
Long-term relationships. Yeah, you know, when we were racing all the time. If you beat me, you took bacon off my table. Or you did something I didn't like, or, you know. And I think probably Neil and Dale were that friendship probably has lasted as long. And my brother, Michael,
Mahomes takes ball one.
Sometimes you try to make a hitter chase your
Which still
pitch.
baffles me, by
Exactly
the way,
what you
because
saw.
I couldn't think.
Well, look.
Explain that.
Yeah,
Pitch
do that.
taken for a
Pretty easy.
ball.
So who was my biggest rivalry when I started? Richard Petty. Where did my brother live?
Richard Petty's.
Yeah. And who was my biggest rivalry as we went through my career?
Dale.
Dale. And where did Michael live?
Dale.
He was Dale's
With
best friend.
Two and two
so
the count.
My brother was pretty smart. He's shrewd. You know, they don't like DW, but they like me. I'll never forget, my brother called me one day and he said, I was sitting on the couch talking
Ground
to
ball
Richard.
up the middle.
We were watching the race, and I was telling Richard what
He's
was
on
going
with a
on, and
single.
Richard looked at me and said, "Boy, when the hell
The
did you
next
learn
batter
about
is
racing?"
trying to
He
hit
said,
the
"Well, I learned everything I know about racing from my brother."
The pitch.
And Richard looked at him and said, "You don't know much, do you?"
Oh, my God.
My goodness.
But it's so different. I mean, you know, we didn't have motor homes. And, you know, we had King Airs, and Dale wanted a jet, and he got a Lear jet. And I mean, we was always trying to one up each other. And
He's hanging around,
It just-
fouling off,
it was
looking
just
for
a
his
little
pitch.
No, driving that one car.
He strikes out
He won't
swinging.
remember this, but
With
we were at
5
Texas.
innings
I was
remaining,
driving the
the
one car.
score is
The one
7-1.
DEI call.
Yeah,
right.
the DEI car.
This game is brought to you by
And we're going
EA
to an appearance.
Sports.
It's Sunday
EA
morning.
Sports
And this one, he
is
was
in the game.
just starting to cut. And we're going over there, and he's giving Junior hell about his setup.
Fouled out of play.
He's got like, I don't know, a pair of 600s and a 2.5-inch bar or something in the front. Something that unheard of to us. And he's telling him he don't know
The
what
Red
he's doing.
Sox
He'll get
call
laughed,
for
blah,
a
blah, blah,
reliever.
blah.
Dempster
And he was
comes in to
wearing
try
him
to
out.
provide some relief.
And I'm in the back sitting by him. He reached over and says, "Will you please tell him we know what we're doing?" And I said, no, I'm not going to tell him anything. You tell him. I'm not telling him anything. But that was a great, that really saved me.
You're talking about the right. Set that up. Steve Park got injured.
Driving the one car, and that's the way Dale was.
Out of play.
He would kick your butt one day and hug your neck the next. You just didn't know. And so when he called me, wanted me to drive that one car, first I thought,
And we'll reset and do it again.
because they were struggling. Felipe
keep
Lopez,
that.
and
You just
they
keep
were
fouling
just getting
balls off.
DEI going, and they were buying old cars from Harriet from different people, and they didn't have what they needed, and they had some good engine people, but there was just a lot of loose ends. And but anyway, I thought about it, and I thought, yeah, that's probably the right
In the
thing
right
for me to
field,
do.
Nixon
Because I
should
just
have
sold
no
my team
problem.
to Tim Beverly, and he would shut the team down while they did some rebuilding. And I was kind of didn't have
This
anything really
right-handed
going
hitter is
on, and
just
so it
plain
worked out really well for
ordinary when
me.
there's a righty on the mound.
And it was the best thing that I ever did for our relationship, because we did get a chance to kind of mend some wounds
Dempster
and
with the
talk about
delivery
some
on
old
the
times
0-1.
and things that had happened. And,
He squeezes it for the
Dale
out.
paid me more than anybody ever paid me before.
How many races did you do?
I do 12 maybe? Yeah, 8 or 12.
And when you and Dale had chances to, you're having conversations with him that otherwise you wouldn't have. Would you go out to the farm? When did you find moments with Dale?
See, I worked at Garage Mahal.
Curveball
That was
misses
my job.
downstairs.
I was a greeter at Garage Mahal.
All right.
That's what I said I did through the week anyway. When fans would come, I'd show them around.
High slider.
No, we just, it was a kind of a fun time because you're starting something new. A lot of new
That one's
people,
driven
every day
way back
truckloads of
and
parts and
gone.
pieces, and
Home run.
equipment was being unloaded, and the floors were shiny, and everything
He knew
was
that one
brand
was
new.
gone the
And
second he hit it.
rails
What
up
a
to his
shot.
office were heated, and the
heated rails.
the elevator where he put his car when nobody there. It was just got the deer. I mean, just a lot of fun to hang out with him. Ride around the back there where the pond was. And I don't know. It was kind of fun.
Beimel
And
digs
like
in
I
at the
said,
plate.
He paid me well. I was hurting because I'd spent all my money on that race team that I'd finally gotten out
Popped
of.
him up.
And so I needed the opportunity to
That'll do it as we go to the bottom of the inning.
revitalize my career a little bit and
Going into
put a little
the
money
bottom
in
of
the
the
bank.
fifth. The
And Dale
score
did
is
all that for me.
8-1.
He and Ty Norton, they both said
8 and 9
if
hitters.
things had been a little bit different and things had worked out, I would have stayed there. Park would have come back, and he would have drove the Pennzoil car, and I would have probably driven the Napa car. But it just the timing wasn't right.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Napa wasn't quite
Sometimes you try
ready
to
for
make a
Cup.
hitter chase your pitch.
It came
That's
along with
exactly
Michael
what you
later
saw
on.
right
That's right.
And they were Hornaday, but
Hit to
just
left field.
timing was a little bit wrong right there, so I ended up driving a damn Kmart car.
That's right. So this would have been about, what, 96, 97, something like that?
This would have been 1998, 99.
So you were then.
I was racing in an ACDL car.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
I remember.
So y'all were sort of teammates.
Well, we were teammates at one time.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget, he drove Ed Whitaker's car. I think he saw him Poe at Bristol and maybe went to Rockingham.
Yes.
And I went over to Dale and I said, Dale, what's your plan for Dale Jr.? I said, what do you want to know
They're
for?
going to have to do something
I
out
said,
there. Some of these
I'm gonna
pitches
try
ain't
to
even
hire him.
close.
He said, you stay away from him.
Really?
He said, you'll pay him too damn much money. He said, I won't be able to compete with you. He said, you stay away from him. I got plans for him.
If I'm you, I don't know whether that's a compliment or like you'll pay him too much money because like.
Well, I didn't know either.
What are you trying to get?
All I know is he said, you stay away from him. I got plans for him. And I'll never forget, he called me and said, I just signed a $10 million deal with Dale to drive a Bud Light. Good deal.
I remember my driving lessons from
Okay.
Martinsville. He was driving. I was running the Cup Series rookie year.
He had hit everything but the pace car, by the way.
I was having a wild one. The whole year was a learning.
This is your rookie year, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
I count Errol. We're both a lap down or two. And I'm not running great. Daryl's not running great. And I caught him and bumped him. As soon as I got to him, I bumped him up the track in turn 1 and 2, I think. And in turn 3 and 4, he had me backwards. And I was like, I should have known that was going to happen. DW is like, I ain't in a real good mood.
No, I wasn't having the best day.
Yeah.
When I go to Martinsville, I don't have a good day. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my go-to track.
Man, I kind of knew that was coming, and I got spun out by Darryl Walter. That's like a rite of passage.
Yeah, I was going to say, of all people that might take that as kind of a cool thing, you would be the one that's like, hey, I just got it.
Oh, no, but he got the wrath of his dad a few times, too. What about when we went to Japan?
That's an infamous moment.
Yeah, and the IROC race at Michigan. Yeah.
No, wait a second. Go back to do you have vantage points? I've only heard Dale tell these stories. I've only heard Dale talk about the shoe coming at him. Do you have it? Insight?
Did you know after Japan? You drove the Yates car.
Yates car.
Yeah. Daddy and me was pitted side by side,
throwing in their bullpen.
and he's in Japan going through the motions.
Yeah.
Right. They send some heavy old junk car.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I show up. I'm Dale Earnhardt. I do the Dale Earnhardt thing. And I go,
and 44 runs
the
batted
24 and the 31, they got their nice stuff. And they're out there running up front. I had this car.
That'll do it for the Red Sox in the 5th inning.
I'm running my guts out, right?
With
It's
5
racing.
innings played, the score is 8-2.
And come down to the end like a 10 lap to go, and Dad's got to set tires in his pit, and I don't. Tony Jr. looks over at Richard and them and said, y'all coming? They were like, nope. I said, well, I'm going to borrow them tires if you don't mind. I'm coming. They said, yeah, take them. I come down pit road, put my tires on, come back out. I line up about 2 or 3 spots behind Daddy.
Warming some relievers in the bullpen.
I'm like trying to get through as many cars as I can when the green flag comes out. We come off turn 4, and Dad's on the right rear. I'm passing. And I'm thinking, surely I got to open the throttle up. I got to
the right side.
the throttle down, but I can't because he's right here. He's got to let me go, or we're both going to go down this straightaway slow as hell.
Misses for a ball.
So I just gassed it and come up the track and slid over his headlights up onto the grill of his car, and he shoved me all the way down the straightaway and had the rear tires off the ground, and the thing driving like a forklift until we got to the flag. He let me go, and I went on and passed a couple more cars, and we get done. And I'm like, man, this is great. I finished like 6th or something.
Yeah. And you hadn't even been a Cup driver at that point.
Yeah.
You're getting a race with these guys.
I beat Daddy, which is even better.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. And I don't think that's just racing.
Yeah.
Right? Not a big deal. I go into those little trailers they had us sitting in.
Yeah.
Me and him sharing a trailer together, these little rentals. I sit down, and I'm taking my stuff off. He comes in, and I look up, and I'm like, it looks like he wants to talk.
You can tell.
I am sitting there, and he sits down and starts taking his shoe off, and I, just at the moment that I bent down to untie my shoe, his shoe went right over my head.
Oh, my gosh.
Fast.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he slung that damn thing. If
Yeah.
it had hit me,
Yeah.
it would have hurt.
It'd hurt.
And never said a word.
Yeah.
Somebody cracks the door open and goes, "Hey, Junior, they want to interview you out here." I'm like, "That's perfect." I got up out of there as fast as I could.
I'm out of here.
I never had a problem with him on the racetrack. Well, I had a couple where he was like, "Hey, tell Junior to stop doing X,
Oh, yeah,
Y, Z."
yeah.
We went to Bristol. You'll love this because I'm the only one that could do this. We went to Bristol, and he comes up to me, and he's starting behind me and Elliott South. He's like, "Hey, you boys." Elliott's young, I'm new, rookie year. He goes, "You guys, it's a long race now, Bristol. You got to be patient. You got to be calm. You got good cars. Y'all do good if you're patient. This track will eat you up." First corner, he dumps Elliott. He runs in the back of him, dumps him into me.
There's a
me and
line
Elliott
drive.
crash. I'm tore up.
4 hits.
I'm behind the wall for 50 laps. Come out with no damn
This guy is
fenders.
just a pure hitter.
And the first time I see him coming by,
The delivery.
he's lapping me, and I just turned
Barnes
left
pulls from
and
deep
drug
to
the
left
whole
field.
left front fender,
Going into the
whole
bottom
left
of the
front tire of my
sixth.
car
The
down
score
the right
is
side of his, and
8-2.
he's going by. Because I seen him do that.
Oh, yeah.
He's done that
Time for
big
the
time.
3, 4, and 5 guys.
And so he
This
got a
guy
little
can
pissed off.
really motor down the line, so the
I never
defense
have
needs to field the ball
seen
cleanly.
that side of him. I seen the "I'm mad at you because you didn't do your homework," but I never met
Dirksen takes, and the count evens
mean
at 1.
race car driver.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase
Yeah.
your pitch. That's exactly what you
You're
saw
taking
right
food off my table.
A
And
ball.
that moment, I think in Japan, I kind of got a glimpse of what you guys dealt with every single week.
Oh, yeah. Well, Dale had a philosophy. Pretty simple.
3-1
You hit
count.
me once, I'm going to hit you twice. That was the way he raced. But that's the way his dad was. His dad was rough on those dirt
He
tracks.
takes
And
his
when Dale
base.
grew up on those dirt tracks,
Just loses him in that
he was
bad.
driving
That's a
Robert
free
G's
pass.
car
We'll
over
see
at
who comes back
Concord.
to hurt him.
And I had a little
Up next,
hot rod
Lance
shop called
Berkman.
Walter Racing Center
Here's
over
a
in
guy that
Franklin.
understands
And so
hitting, and it shows.
I put my
He's
name
to
on
second.
Robert's car for Dale to drive at Walter Racing Center. And we go over there, and Dale, on the last lap going into turn 1, he dumps like Billy Scott or Hayward Ply or somebody. He just dumps them
0-2 the
and
count.
spins them out, and
Great
he
pitch in
comes
the black.
around. He
Would've been
comes around. He
cross
wins
strike
the
even if the batter
race.
didn't swing through it.
We're all over the top. Man, yeah, we won the race. Man, we're great. And we're coming down where the car is, and coming to the other direction is the guy he's teamed he dumped.
Yeah.
And they are hot. And they're getting ready for
They
some
asked the
action.
third base umpire if he swung.
There'll be some fight right on the front straightaway. I'm running down the road. I said, whoa. When I turned around, I said, I'm getting in my
They
car. I'm
checked
getting the
down
hell
at
out of
third.
here. Because they were not
He
happy.
started to swing,
And that-
but it didn't go through the zone.
it was interesting to me to watch how Dale operated, because he knew what he was doing. It wasn't like it
Terrific
was
at
an
bat
accident.
right here.
He knew what he was doing, and he would
That's
do it
4
anyway.
strikeouts.
He couldn't help himself. I mean, there was some about that helmet and that image and that intimidator, and he had to live up to that, and he did. He did a lot.
That makes
DW,
you
yeah.
nervous when you tell
There
that
goes the
story, and I
runner.
know how it ends. I
That
still, I
Safe
still
with
can
the stolen
put
base.
myself in the room and him coming in, and I hear I
We had a
pissed off Dale
13-hour
Earnhardt.
we had a 13-hour plane ride home for us to get over it.
Oh, I can feel the anxiety in that. That would be awful.
It was interesting.
Just
Yeah, well,
missed.
one
I
thing.
knew though.
Infielder's got to
The only
be
thing
thinking,
I
ground
think
ball
about
on the
this
left
though,
side.
Doug,
Look the
the one
runner
thing I
back
knew
on the
though is
first.
that
Ground ball
somewhere
to the right
in
side,
that
just go
angry
first.
man was a proud dad.
Yeah.
Even though
He
I knew he
delivers.
was so angry, I knew in a couple days he was going to
balls,
look back and
one
go, "That was so,
Yeah.
that was pretty." I like that stuff. I drove
That's
him
a
the way he
one-out
drives
walk.
everybody else.
Yeah.
But you're assuming that because he never showed it to you, did he?
Stepping
Like,
in,
I mean,
Nixon.
he knew about you. He doesn't know about the plans that Dale had for you before you ever knew the plans. I mean,
Yeah.
you didn't get that information until you walked in and saw that your name on the car. You know?
Well,
He
yeah.
crushes
But
it.
you know, the thing I think about Dale, and I think about him,
Off the wall.
it's like he's still here. I mean, every day or something that comes up is like, well, what do you think Dale would think about
Hey,
that?
partner, nice base
I think
running
Dale
right
would
there.
probably be
Scored
running
second on
NASCAR
the
if he
single.
was still here, but who knows. But we were at Indianapolis. I'll tell you this quick story. We were at Indianapolis. We're going to go to St. Elmo's for dinner. And I'm driving. He's over here, and just he and I in a car. We get to the exit of the street
Here's a
there.
guy who's been known to throws over to third.
Blocked. And I start to go. He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, I can't go through there. It's blocked." He said,
Pitch inside.
"Just
He's
go
batting
between those two.
250.
You can get through there. Get
No
through there."
long balls
So I said,
and
all right,
4
all right.
runs
So I
batted
just
in.
ran, so we're going down the street, and a light up. getting ready to change. He said, "What are you slowing down for? Don't slow down. You can make that light. You can make that light." So okay, I'll go through the light. What are you doing in this lane? Get over in that lane over there. Move over there. I said, I pulled the car. I said, "That's it. I've had it.
Hitters
You
count
drive."
3-1.
I said, "I'm tired of you telling me where to go, what to do, how to do it." I said, "You drive." He said, "Well, just calm down. It's just trying to help you."
It's
and
a
I
full
think,
count.
I think in his mind, he always felt like he was just trying to help you. He had an idea about how things were supposed to be. And if they weren't that way, then that wasn't the right way.
The next batter is
Mike Lowe. He was a hard guy to get along with.
Looked like a good pitch,
But
called the ball.
he had a big heart. He was down inside of him. There was another deal, but he didn't let that deal out very often. He didn't want nobody to see that deal. But there was a deal inside of him. It was totally different than one that's on the racetrack. And he knows.
All right, DW, I hate to wrap this up.
Are we done? Oh,
we
man.
are done for this trip. You're going to come back.
We have to have it back.
We only got 30% of the whole story, but we'd love to have you come back.
Yeah.
This
That's
has meant
the
a lot
final out
to
of the
me
inning with runners left
for you to
stranded
make
on
this
second
effort
and
to come all the
third.
way here to sit down and talk to us.
Now,
And I
there's
want
a
you to know
great
that
example of
there's
defense
a
picking
lot of
you up.
people
They
that are
turned a
going to listen to
sweet
this
double
show
play
on
right
podcast
there.
form and watch it on TV.
The
They're going to
Tigers
love
lead
this.
by
so.
5 in
They
the
are
3
going to be
innings
so happy to
remaining.
hear from you and hear
Up
these
next
stories.
with one single already,
So thank you.
Carlos
You
Guillen.
mean the world to us. It's so great to see you. You'll have to tell Stevie that we missed her, and we love her. Enjoy your ride home. Hope it's a safe one.
Yep.
And we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, man. Well, you do a great job. I watch this show quite often because you have all my buddies
Hit
on.
to the right
And
side.
I always like to see if they're going to mention me or not.
Got him.
Well, they do. There's always a DW story
Occasionally
in
they
there.
do. But anyway, yeah, thank you for letting me be on today.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you. Daryl Waltrip on the Dale Jr. Down. It's rare we get a clap from Mike.
Yeah, this
in all fairness, I mean, I haven't, no disrespect to any of our other guests. We've had some fantastic guests, but Dale Jr. has been looking forward to this for a while, ever since we had it booked. And I don't remember Dale Jr. In fact, I've never heard Dale Jr. say this: "I'm going to prepare all week for this interview." I've never heard him say
He had a lot of good pictures. I will say that. Yeah.
I love a picture.
Oh,
I love the
he'll
picture.
have a picture
I
of
love the picture.
But it does mean a lot
Ball
to us
misses
that
away.
you come all the way this way.
I've been waiting for it. We talked a couple of times about when you want to do it, when can you
He
do
belts it way back.
And nothing ever
way
happened.
back,
And so
and
I was excited to get to come because, again, I've watched this show a lot, and he does such a great job because he is well prepared. He knows what he's doing. It's a great host. Great host. And I guarantee I walk through this shop, probably a lot of those guys out there I probably know better at this shop than I do most any other shop.
Yeah.
Robert Jr. and all his crowd, and I see those cars, and it's just great memories.
I will tell you that if of all this, I would take the biggest compliment for you would be the fact that our TV show is supposed to end last week. They're playing. In fact, we kind of said it on the show, like, all right, that's our last TV show of the year. When they found out we had you coming on, they changed their mind.
Oh, wow.
This will be the last TV show of the
Well,
year.
that's good to know.
But
we always got to end the season with a bang.
and
you were the bang.
You are that guy.
Well, we'll just make it a date. Every year I'll come over and end the show with it.
Let's do it.
Hey, yeah, we'll make you sign a contract.
in lieu of.
Right.
No.
All right, we're live.
Okay, it's time for my favorite part of the show.
Final
Ask
takes,
presented
and the
by
count
Xfinity,
evens
proud
at 1.
partner of NASCAR and this podcast.
And the
Hey,
pitch.
thank you for supporting our show all season.
Out of the zone. That's a
This
ball.
might be our last podcast. I don't know. I've talked to Mike into
Of the
having-
year. Not ever.
I've talked to
3-1.
talked Mike into doing more than we had planned this year. So maybe we can get something out of this.
That's walk number
It's time to
5
hear the
allowed in
questions
this
that
game.
you sent to Xfinity
This guy
Racing
needs to
on
bear
Twitter
down
and
to
in
a
the
strike.
chat.
You don't want to be
Yvonne's
watching
here
people
with those
this late in the
questions, so
ball
let's
game.
get started.
All right, Dale, our
pitcher
first
seems
question
even
is
more
coming from
flustered after that
Joseph
trip to the
Hutzler. I was asked what sports broadcaster I consider to be synonymous with my childhood yesterday. What say you? Eli Gold, Ken Squire?
My favorite broadcaster, and I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, Ken Squire. He had these sort of Squire-isms, as they're called, where he would describe the cars going around the track. A restart at Daytona, as the cars come down the front straightaway and turn down into turn one, he would say something like an avalanche. He would use words that everyone knew to describe the action, and he gave you a real sense of the urgency and the energy. He talked about things, he talked about cars as if it was a land rush to win the race, and you can,
the pitch is hit to center field. Damon should have no problem.
He would talk about cars covering the city block in a second. And,
all right, everybody, up on their feet. Time for the seventh inning stretch.
Yeah, I could use a bit of a break.
Daytona 500 for the first time. You would think about a car covering the city block in less than a second would be really fast.
Stepping in with a double already, Jason.
He had all these little Squireisms that I really enjoyed. When a car blew a motor, he'd say he hand grenaded an engine.
He delivers.
Or that the engine's tortured.
And that's strike two.
Or the engine has expired.
Come and get it, but the batter could not find
it's gone
that
up and
slider.
He just had all these little ways, the fun ways to sort of
slow roller out to second.
Make you feel it. Nowadays,
out.
I don't know
Giles
that we take
made him look easy on that out of first guy.
Those things to
next
really
at the plate, Johnny Damon.
The urgency of
pitch misses for a ball.
So Squire's the man. Barney Hall, just perfect. He's perfect for radio.
Taken for a ball.
You can go listen to all that stuff on YouTube or anywhere to get a little bit of understanding of what I'm talking about. Barney Hall
taken for a ball.
Our next question coming from Jared Lyons. With Rockingham being added to the 2021 Cars Tour schedule for next year, do you think Rockingham has the potential to make its way back on the NASCAR schedule?
They're going to need to repave the racetrack. I think the surface itself is far too gone. I don't even know why they're running the Cars Tour race there with as bad as turn one was. It's busted up really bad. But they're just trying. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate sort of the idea for keeping that racetrack
out of the zone.
Relevant.
That's a ball.
It's really important. If it ever does make it back onto the truck, the Xfinity, or the Cup schedule, if it ever does, it'll be because of these little races like this Cars Tour race and the effort that goes into trying to have this race. It'll be a monumental effort just to have that Cars Tour race. It really will. The people that are going to put that together will do a lot of work. Credit to them, but
he just lets him get away.
I was a little surprised to see it actually on that schedule.
Corey is watching on YouTube. When can we expect Bristol dirt on iRacing? You have any insight on that?
I'm sure it's a matter of time.
Delivers.
It's pretty simple to sort of turn
one ball,
racetracks into
one
dirt.
strike.
Haven't heard anything. I'm not that excited about that. In the real world,
so it's not
top of mind in the iRacing.
He makes the catch.
iRacing world. We're working on a few other projects with them though, and yeah,
he didn't get all that ball. The fielder strolled over, got under it, made some play.
All right, one more question from Amanda. When will there be a DJD show together?
That's not a meeting. So a door bumper clear, Dale Jr. download,
he swung
podcast together. I think would be a lot of fun. And I've always wanted to do it. It really comes down to just this guy right here, Mike Davis.
Put it all on Mike.
You laugh.
Two
but,
balls,
I mean,
one
honestly,
strike.
Mike, the whole podcast thing is Mike's vision. It's his baby. And he keeps them separate
3-1 count.
for whatever reason.
Been calling for pitches out of strike zone all game long. I wonder if he knows something
what you see with the Dale Jr. download is his creation. Same thing with Door Bumper Clear. He's not chosen to mix them together for whatever reason just yet. I'm kind of trying to encourage him to maybe have us a year-end sort of get together. It'd be fun.
I love the idea. We got to wait till we kind of
this lefty struggles at times against
right-handed cramming everybody into this table.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately the thing, because it creates a little bit of more logistical issues, camera-wise and stuff. We just got to get through the pandemic.
2 ball, no strike count.
The podcast together.
All right, guys, that's it.
Well, we talk about it all the time.
2 ball, 1 strike count.
This part of the show is a little bit too fast and ends too quickly.
He hits a grounder the other way to the left side. They make the play.
A lot more people than just the ones that are in this room.
Fast, it's right, just like Xfinity Internet.
Xfinity X5. That's what
With 2
It
innings
gets me
left,
connected
the score is
with great
10-3.
I'm a customer. There's no better way to
Stepping
stay
in,
NASCAR
Johnny
and
Estrada.
That's right. Remember, everybody, Dale Jr.'s here every week to answer your questions in this segment. It's his
It's the
favorite
other way
segment.
out to right.
So hit him up
Nixon
at
should have no
Xfinity Racing on
problem.
Twitter using the hashtag
Get on it.
AskJunior
Fielder strolled over,
for a
got
chance to
under,
hear
and
from
just
Dale
run.
himself.
A big thanks to
Here's an
Xfinity
example
for
of a
being
guy
premier
who
partner
loves
of NASCAR.
facing left-handed pitchers. That one was off his hands. 2 out.
We got last call. Mike, take it away.
All right, buddy. One thing I always like to do, since it's our end of the year, is I'd like to call people out by name that have been part of this crew that you don't necessarily see or hear on the
Takes
show,
a
right?
pitch
And I
just
want to
off
start
the
with
plate,
my
1-0.
30-Mo media team.
He's batting
So grateful for
325
Matthew. Obviously,
with
your
23
commitment,
long
Leah, your
balls
commitment to this
and
has been
53
fantastic.
RBIs.
But also, James Brosan is behind the camera. Dustin Lee's behind the camera. Michael Caldwell is up in his office, but very instrumental in this. Jason Schultz over here, who produces Door Bumper Clear, is so in the weeds with us on Dale Jr. Download too. So Jason, thank you so much for your effort. And so that is a team that brings you this show every week, and so we're very grateful. Also on the TV side, Mark Printer's over here in the corner. I wish you could see him right now. He's got his headset on. Thank you, Mark. Kevin Dennis is over here. Justin Ottman is here a lot of times, and then Brian Goodwin is the producer
Stepping
on
in
the
1
show
for 3,
that
Trot
makes it all happen.
Nixon.
There's a lot of people up in Stanford and other parts that obviously have their hands. I don't know their names, but I know that there's other people. So thank you to all the NBC people. And like Dale said earlier, we expect us to drop in. There's no rules when it comes to
Fouls it off.
podcasting. We can do stuff, and we'll drop in in December and in January. So there is no end of the year and there's no start of the next year. We're just gonna take a little break here for the holidays, but we'll also check back in with you. So thank you, everybody, and fantastic year. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the show.
To the right side.
For folks listening at home and wherever you are accessing your podcast, you mean the world to us. We do this for you. I hope you understand that we're going to continue to strive to bring you awesome content in 2021, and keep the feedback coming. Keep wearing out Leah Vaughn. She's here to take in your feedback.
You need company this offseason.
Right.
And keep the beef jerky coming, by the way. I got a fan that sent me
Pitcher and
beef
catcher
jerky.
have a strategy
Since
in
you
mind.
beef jerky.
Yes, and Dale just hustled out here real quick.
Oh.
And if you guys want a piece, it's really good.
Well, good
So
job.
he loses
So
out.
keep the beef jerky coming. Listen, thank you again, listeners. We look forward to picking this thing back up here soon. And take care. Have a great holiday season. We'll talk soon.
Those are the kind of plays that win ball games. Up next with a homer already in the
Check out
game.
Dirty Mo
Mike
Media on
Lowe.
YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and
A
Instagram.
liner.
Dirty Mo.
That's a base hit. Stepping in 1 for 3, Jason Varitek. 2 outs and a man on first. Swing and a miss. That's a ground ball to the third baseman. That'll do it for the Red Sox in the 8th. The Tigers lead by 7, and there's 1 inning left. The next batter is Carlos Guillen. And that's a strike swinging.
That was a perfect pitch, partner, right on the edge of the strike zone. The batter swung right through it.
He's hitting .305 with 22 home runs and 74 runs batted in. And on 3 pitches, he's gone.
Hey, the pitcher wins the battle. Sweet pitch to get the K.
Now at the plate, the left fielder.
That one down.
Takes a pitch just off the plate, 1-0. The catch is made by the center fielder.
He tracked that ball very well off his bat, camped under, made the easy play.
Takes a pitch high. And he's safe at first. And with that knock, he keeps the inning going. This guy isn't anything special when he digs in against left-handed pitching. He hits a line drive the other way. Going into the bottom of the ninth, the score is 10-3. Stepping in 1 for 3, Johnny Damon. He delivers. Pitch misses for a ball.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
Hit towards the shortstop. One down. Up the middle. It's a single.
With this guy hitting kite, the infielders should be on their toes. This guy's got some great wheels. The book on this dude says stay away because he loves the ball under his hands.
The delivery. He turns on one and hits it. He came up with it.
That guy really lived up to his reputation as a wizard in the field of that play. Great catch.
Next up, Lance Berkman. A liner. He's aboard with a 2-out double.
Good job there. Both runners are now in scoring position.
Mahomes takes one low. The count's 1-2.
That was a perfect pitch, partner. Right on the edge of the strike zone. The batter swung right through it.
Misses away for a ball. It's hit back up the middle. And a run scores. That single drives in a pair.
In fact, that was some good base running right there to score from second on the single.
The Tigers have a southpaw getting loose in the bullpen. Coming to the plate with one single today, Trot Nixon. Taken for a ball.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
Strike two.
A liner. He's on first with a base hit.
Good play to move that runner into scoring position.
A pitching change will be made. They're going to the pen. The Red Sox will send up a pinch hitter. The home plate ump asked for help at first. He hits it over towards second. And that's the ball game. Schilling is the winner. Clement is saddled with the loss. The final score, Detroit 10, the Boston Red Sox 5.